The gameplay reveal trailer for Dragon Age the Veilguard is here, and if you're a longtime fan of the Dragon Age franchise like I am, I'm sure you've felt the bumps in the road from the insanely rocky development cycle this game has been in for almost a decade now. But after watching the trailer, I can say this game's gonna rule, and I want to talk about why. What's up guys, I am SJ from 10 Points of Slashing, and a few hours ago we all got our first look at gameplay in the new Dragon Age game. I have a lot to say about it, but I wanted to give a super condensed version of why you should be insanely pumped for it too, whether you're a newcomer to the franchise or a Dragon Age veteran. 10 Points of Slashing exists for two reasons: to share our passion for the video games that we love and to make people laugh. If you're a fan of the Dragon Age franchise, please consider subscribing to the channel and strap yourselves in. Here are the 7 reasons that you should be hyped for Dragon Age the Veilguard. Reason number 1, authenticity. With the chaos that BioWare has gone through during the development cycle for Veilguard, it's no surprise that us, the longtime fans, have felt a little less than sure of the direction this game is headed in. Between losing the lead writer of the entire Dragon Age narrative early on in development, as well as the massive changing of the Guard that occurred last year and earlier this year, it's reasonable to say that faith in the Dragon Age franchise had been shaken. But after seeing this trailer, I can safely say that Veilguard looks like an authentic Dragon Age experience. Harding, Varric, and Solas feel like the Harding, Varric, and Solas we all knew and loved. And the new character that was introduced in the trailer, Nave, feels like she fits right into the universe and will have a huge part to play in the narrative of Veilguard. She doesn't feel forced or like designed by somebody that didn't know anything about Dragon Age going, I think this is what a character in Dragon Age should be like. I'm excited to interact with this character, which is a huge part of what I love about Dragon Age. Despite the massive changes in the development team, this game feels authentic to what Dragon Age is and always has been. Reason number 2, combat. I have a lot to say about the combat, and we'll probably touch on it in depth in another video, but for now, I'll say this: hell yeah. 2 major things stand out to me about it: the fluidity of it and the skill lines. When I say fluidity, I'm just talking about the fact that it doesn't look clunky anymore. I think that Inquisition's combat was the perfect blend of the more strategic approach Origins took to combat and the straight-up action RPG style that 2 incorporated. But the fact that it was a blend inherently made the combat feel clunky sometimes. And it looks like BioWare has figured out the perfect formula for how to make fluid action RPG combat in a Dragon Age game. Taking obvious cues from series such as God of War, there seems to be a much heavier emphasis on the player being able to move through the fight and target what they want to target, rather than just kind of accepting what the game forces you to target. Granted, all we saw in the trailer was a rogue in combat, and rogues are supposed to be able to move more freely. We have no idea how warriors or mages will play, or if that class breakdown even still exists. Which brings me to the second thing that stands out to me about the combat. This rogue is clearly using magic. This is something that I have hoped for a long time. As an unapologetic Gish, in every Dragon Age game so far, I have found a way to make myself a warrior-mage hybrid. Some of the backstories for my Dragon Age characters, yes, I'm that kind of nerd, involve them being born a mage but suppressing it for fear of being towered and becoming a warrior or rogue. Looks like now those dudes can finally tap into that magic and start slinging spells. While I am a huge fan of very strict class restriction that forces a warrior to be a warrior or a mage to be a mage, when the skill tree thing leaked, I got super excited. Part of me did hope that there was a more Skyrim-like approach to skills, where even though you're a mage, you can take a few warrior skills here or there to supplement your playstyle. And it looks like that may be the case here. I've actually recently started playing a rogue mage hybrid in all of my RPGs, so seeing a rogue throw lightning at demons got me stupid pumped. I'm insanely hyped for combat in Veilguard. Reason number 3, theme. A lot of people were worried about the overall feel of Veilguard after the June 9th reveal trailer, including, admittedly, me. The trailer just at first felt like a kinder, gentler Dragon Age. Then I used my brain and realized that that trailer was designed to advertise the game to people that may be new to the franchise. The gameplay video was for us, the longtime fans, and they hit a home run as far as I'm concerned. It feels dark, it feels gritty, it feels like the direction that I felt the franchise move in back in 2015 when I finished Trespasser. I'm sure there's a reason this video has Rook take the aggressive dialogue options. This isn't a kinder, gentler Dragon Age, it's the same Dragon Age we all know. BioWare is just being smart and attempting to broaden their audience to capitalize on the mainstream success of fantasy RPGs in recent years. Maybe this gameplay video is not indicative of the game as a whole, and I'll be eating my words this fall. For now, from the gameplay we saw today, I'm completely bought in. This is the dark, gritty side of Dragon Age that I love, just with bright new explosions, and I can't wait to see more. Reason number 4, dialogue. This one definitely echoes what I said about authenticity, but I feel like it needs to be said. We still have dialogue options, and we still have approval ratings. As I said earlier, a massive part of what makes this franchise so memorable and enjoyable is the interaction you have with your party. The fact that decisions you make can result in your people loving you or hating you adds so much value to these games. I'd honestly even go so far as to say that party interaction is one of the defining characteristics of Dragon Age. The fact that this system seems completely intact and clearly builds on Inquisition's additions to the dialogue system is indicative of a clear effort to stay true to form. That alone tells me that, again, I can expect the true blue Dragon Age experience here. Reason number 5, story. The disclaimer at the beginning of the video states that everything we see in it happens very early. What this tells me is that Solus is not the big bad guy. Or even if he is, the fact that this is how the game more or less starts tells me that there's a whole world of other shit that's gonna happen in the story between the event we see in the gameplay here and the end of the game. This, my friends, is an incredible sign. This means that the game isn't just, we gotta stop Solus because he's evil now. There's far more to it than that, which is pretty much a confirmation of a major theory that there's a lot more at play in this game than stopping the Dreadwolf, and I love that. Every Dragon Age game has had a ridiculous amount of depth to it. There are twists and turns and side quests that you can make an entire game out of. The fact that this game opens up with a conflict that a lot of people expected to be the final moments of the game tell me that Veilguard is going to be jam-packed with that classic Dragon Age depth. Reason number 6. Literally just cloth physics. Look at that fucking cape, dude. Reason number 7. From what we saw in the gameplay video, this looks like an evolution of everything we've seen in Dragon Age thus far. BioWare isn't erasing anything and starting over, or wiping old systems completely off the board so that they can introduce some new bullshit that nobody cares about. They're building on what Dragon Age is. This isn't a reinvention of the wheel, it's the same wheel we all fell in love with a long time ago, just bigger and better. This isn't a new direction, it's the same direction Dragon Age has been moving in, just new ground along that path. Dragon Age the Veilguard looks like a true sequel to Inquisition and the Dragon Age franchise as a whole. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for checking out this video and the channel. Dragon Age is my favorite franchise of all time, and I've been with it since Origins, so suffice it to say that 10 Points of Slashing will be doing a shitload of Veilguard content in the coming months. Please consider subscribing if you like our style and you want to see more. Again, thank you so much, and I hope you guys are just as pumped for Veilguard as I am. Later.